Hello, Bro Gamer here. Welcome to part 3 of my Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead tutorial series. In this part I'm going to show how to gather supplies and set yourself up to survive for the first day. And a little caveat, due to the nature of this game, it is a roguelike survival game. I may not survive. That's just the way things go. I mean, even if you follow all of the tactics and tips that I give you, you might not survive either. That's just the way it is. You probably will die a lot in this game, even experienced players do. And so, just quickly show the character build. Just put some points in strength, dexterity and perception. I started with 24 points for character building, just to make things a bit easy. I picked fleet-footed and quick. Those are very useful. And a couple of negative ones to buy myself back some points, things that aren't really important for this tutorial video. I picked the scoundrel profession because that's going to give me some pockets, which will be very useful. And I put some points to show off the things that you can craft before you really leave the evac shelter. I'll show that in a bit. So we got a point in survival, mechanics, archery, tailoring, bashing, melee and dodge, and a randomly generated name. So we build the character and we get into the game world, and the first thing that will probably be useful is just chat to the NPC, uppercase C. You can either take this mission that they're offering, or just tell them that you don't care. I don't care right now. Because we can choose the option D there, I can't leave the shelter without equipment. And then you get some options to intimidate or persuade them to try and give you some stuff. And he's given me some wax. A little warning, they are pranksters. Sometimes they like to give you active grenades. So, yeah. Stand by an open door. So, first things first, if you look in the basement, press page down to go down. It's dark down here, so you kind of have to move up 2 tiles, and then that's a roll mat. So that's somewhere comfortable to sleep. That's not very important right now. So yeah, if you just kind of move up a couple of tiles and then move across to the other wall and then do it again. Dayquil, now this takes up no volume and no weight. It does come in useful later, so you might as well take it. And yeah, sometimes you get some goodies down here, sometimes you get useless crap. That's just the way it is. Now, if we look at the crafting menu, you can see the things that you can craft. And some of them are very simple. You can craft them without any real skills. So if we just pop out the door and grab a rock, that can be used as a makeshift hammer. Because I didn't have a weapon, he's immediately started wielding it. So we can smash a couple of benches there, and that will give us 2x4s and nails on the floor. Now the crafting system does not require that you have the items in your inventory. You could be stood within 2 tiles of them. So you just stand next to that debris, and straight away you can use the tool, which is a rock, or a stone hammer, a hammer, or any one of those tools, and a 2x4 and some nails, and you can craft a nail board. Now the primary and secondary skills, if you have at least 1 point in the secondary skill, then you'll be able to craft it. But you must have the exact number of points in the primary skill. If you don't have enough points in the primary skill, you just won't see the recipe. So you may see something which uses 3 survival, and you meet that, and so it shows up, but you might not meet the secondary skill. But you only need 1 point in that, so. And the difficulty is basically a failure rate. So this will take a minute, and it shouldn't fail. And there we have a nail board. And straight away we have a pretty effective melee weapon if we open the inventory, pick the nail board, and we can see its stats here. It's not too heavy. It does a fair amount of bash damage and a little bit of cut damage. A 2-hit bonus of 1 because it's quite weighty. And that's a reasonable speed. And it has a weak block attack. And I have an email, so I just have to check that for a second. Okay, and so what else can we craft? Well, we can come over to these lockers and again smash them. You can actually disassemble furniture if you have the tools available. That's in the construction menu. We see deconstruct furniture here, so if you have one of those tools and one of those tools, you'll get more materials out of it. So if you deconstruct a locker, you'll get many more pipes, and you'll also get sheet metal instead of scrap metal. But scrap metal is one of the things we actually want now. If we go to miscellaneous in the crafting menu, you can craft improvised pick lock. Again, this uses 1 mechanic skill. So I think with the difficulty level at 0, it levels the mechanic skill, but it doesn't require the mechanic skill. So you can make that right from the beginning, and you can use that to lock doors. So I might show that later if I come across any locked doors. And also from the pipe that I got from smashing those lockers, I can make a crowbar. And they essentially have the same use. I believe the lockpick or the pick lock, when you're picking locks, I think it's the intelligence of your character that determines how good they are at it. And it also levels your mechanic skill when you're doing it as well. So you have 3 options when you come to a locked door. You can either smash it, which makes a lot of noise and attracts a lot of attention, or you can crowbar it, which makes a little bit of noise but not quite as much, or you can pick the lock, which is essentially silent. And so now we can smash this window, and we can pick up this string and the stick. We don't really need to pick them up, but I might as well. And I'm looking at this self bow here. Right, we need 2 times string 3 feet. So there should be another one on... Oh, I'm standing on it. Nope, that's a sheet. Okay, we'll just smash another window and pick up the string. And now we can craft a bow. And we'll use the stick in our inventory. So before we've even really left the evac shelter, we've got several weapon choices. And you can also craft the arrows out of those sticks that you've got there as well. And the 2x4s. So yeah, that bow, the self bow, required a skill in archery and survival. Just 1 point in each, I believe. We can smash these benches again. Come on. And we can craft wooden arrow shafts, and again use the minus key just to keep crafting those until there's no more materials left. And what we can do with those, because they're not especially accurate arrows, they don't go very far and they don't do much damage, we can go walk over to one of these rocks and craft a field point arrow. So you're basically sticking a sort of sharpened rock on top of the arrow shaft. Now you'll see I'm using a rock as the tool and as an ingredient. You need 2 rocks for that. You can't just sort of magically use the same rock to smash itself. So yep, you can use those. Or you can also use the scrap metal from the smashed lockers. So we just go back over here and we just press minus again, and even though I'm using different ingredients, I can still use that key to craft as many as I can with the ingredients that are nearby. So I'm actually going to show some tactics for using melee weapons, because I believe that that is the best choice for a beginner. You might think a ranged weapon would be better, but I believe it is the melee. Because if you sort of hang around in the wilderness shooting at squirrels for quite a long time, archery does become quite powerful. But nothing beats the sort of brute force damage that you can do with a good melee weapon early on. So I'm going to wield that nail board. It's not the best melee weapon in the game, but it will do for now until I find anything better, if I find anything better. So we can look at the map, and you'll probably want to raid a town early on to get some good stuff. Like, the priority things that you're looking for early on are clothes and bags with lots of storage, medical supplies, food and drink. Food and drink are quite easily obtainable in the wild. If we run over to one of these shrubs that is a bright hash and we examine it, we can see that that's a blueberry bush, and we can pick it, and the amount of blueberries you get depends on your survival skill, and that will also level your survival skill. So you can eat those, and that will stave off hunger for a little while. And yeah, fruit also gives you a little bit of water as well, as you might imagine. So you can already see a zombie to the south there. I'm going to turn safe mode off. Yeah, this is an apartment tower here, which is not an ideal building to have right next to your evac shelter. As I was saying, the nature of this game is to be a dick. It will screw you over. And yeah, that is going to be crawling with zombies, so I'm going to head north a little bit and try and come around the other side of the city. What you're looking for is a grouping of houses with little to no shops nearby. The shops do contain lots of useful things, but they also are crawling with zombies, and whoops, I'm walking right into them. So yeah, down here we're seeing a lot of shops. It's the different coloured symbols. That's going to be crawling with many zombies. Out where there's just lots of houses, you do get less. There's still quite a lot. And so now I'm going to start to show you some combat tactics. If you examine the ground with the X key, you'll see this movement cost. Now it's 100 for the ground and 100 for the road there, and for most floors that means it's flat, it's easy to move across. If we examine the shrub right in front of us, movement cost 400. Now that means that it takes 4 times the time to move across it than it does to move across the ground. So if we stand behind it, this zombie dog here is faster than your average zombie. Oh crap. So now it is standing on the shrub, and that means that it is slowed down by the obstacle, and we can get a good hit on it. And yeah, you can see the kind of damage that this melee weapon does. I did start with a few points in melee and dodge, which is ideal. So if we just move back behind the shrub there, it's still there, it's underneath the zombie dog's corpse, and we just press 5 to wait until the zombies stand on it, and you can hit them without them even touching you because they're that slow. And even the faster zombie dog couldn't get to me before I could attack it. And there are lots of obstacles you can use in the same way. A window is a fantastic choke point. Now I can't remember if you can use a crowbar on a window. Yes, you can. So I can crow that window open with the crowbar and come in the back of a house here so that I can avoid the street. And there's some aspirin. Salt water does have its uses later on, but it's not something we need right now. Now this dust mask, it covers the mouth and it offers a bit of environmental protection, and that may be useful for when you're roasting meat on a fire, so I'm going to pick that up for now. Because as of 0.7, which is the version I'm playing here, smoke is really bad. Starting a fire and trying to roast meat if you're not wearing any kind of a mask will probably kill you. So I've just stumbled across a fridge here. This must be the kitchen. And for some reason it's right against the bathroom door. And so we have, well, we won't take the lemon, it's not very enjoyable. But there we got some cans of cola and beer. And there's some cupboards here, rubber gloves. A pot will be useful for cooking things. And when there's a room full of things, there's not much in here, but we can press uppercase V to look around, and we can see a screwdriver there. That's not immediately useful, but you might as well take it if you've got the time. And we have some cocaine there, that's very useful. All drugs in this game weigh nothing and take up no space, unless you're carrying absolutely hundreds of them. I think that's that's a sewing kit, that's also useful. I believe that also takes up no space, or it takes up a little bit of space, but it doesn't weigh anything. And so yeah, there's lots of things in here, so we can look around. There's cans of Coke, we'll grab those. Can of beer, some more Coke. And so now we've reached our volume level here, so I might as well drink one of these Cokes and drop the empty can. And is there anything in here with pockets? Nope. It's the look of the drawer. So I feel like there should be a bedroom here, but sometimes the furniture gets kind of pushed up against stuff. But yeah, if we open the door here, we can see there's a lot of zombies massing outside. So close the door, move over to this window, and wait a few turns, and they come and smash the window and step in it. And the movement cost of this window is 400, just like the shrub. And so you can probably almost clear out an entire town by killing the zombies in the window. They have smashed through the other window here, so I'm just gonna have to hop through there. And yeah, and when you smash a window, it's covered in jaggedy glass, and you might cut yourself on it. There is a construction option to clean a broken window, which basically just knocks out all the bits of broken glass. You don't want to do it when the zombie is like 10 tiles away though. But that's there so that you don't and we can see a zombie brute coming after us now. They are extremely tough. You want to get very, very far away from them. So just going to use this window here again. Ow. That just electrocuted me. And that's some iodine tablets. Again, that's got no weight or volume, so you might as well take them. And in here, what do we have? You've got a load of useless crap. Oh, okay. I have a zombie brute in the window there. And these are quite fast and quite deadly. And yeah, they're causing me some trouble. So now I'm in pain, and you'll notice that my speed has gone down. I did pick this quick trait, so my speed should be 110. Pain management is a massive thing in this game. You have to keep on top of that. Aspirin is a mild painkiller, obviously. Best taken in 2 or 3s. And that'll take about 10 minutes to kick in. And I also have some cocaine, in a pinch I can just snort that and gain a lot of speed to get away from them, and also attack quicker. So I'll just wait for these stragglers to come, kill them. I think I have time to clean this window so that I don't cut myself on the way out. So I think they have some ammo there, but I'm not going to bother with guns right now. So I think I already have some cargo pants because I picked the scoundrel profession. So really I'm looking for some kind of coat, like a trench coat or something, to give me some storage. So what do we have in there? Another sewing kit, a messenger bag. That's nice. Ouch, cutting myself on the window. See, I'm struggling to hold the volume, but we can take that bag and put it on, and yep, that messenger bag has 0 encumbrance, I believe, and so we're not being encumbered. It is very tempting to find like 2 backpacks and put on 2 pairs of cargo pants and, you know, just really load yourself down straight away because you find all this loot. But I really strongly would not recommend it. Keep an eye on your encumbrance early on, because yeah, if the torso encumbrance is 1, that's a -1 to dodge and melee skill. If you didn't start the game with any points in that, you'll be on a minus, and that will severely affect your ability to do any kind of combat. And it's the same with arms and ranged combat, and having your feet encumbered will slow you down, and yeah. I just strongly recommend staying on or around 0 encumbrance very early on. You may have to forfeit some loot as a result, but I think it's worth it. So I didn't finish checking this house, so I'm just going to hop back in there. Empty dresser. Zombie dog. Let's kill that in this window. Don't know how a dog breaks a window, but right, I'm going to put on this dust mask because there is a cloud of smoke down here, and there's a smoker zombie in that, and I don't want it killing me with its smoke. Whoops, don't walk into the window. Yeah, the window will similarly slow you down as it does the zombies as well. Okay, that's dead. Ketchup. Yep, it'll do in a pinch. It's food. There's a hammer there, so I could take that and drop my rock. Some tramadol. I think that's a mild painkiller, is it? Something like that. Ketchup. Thread is pretty useful. And again, thread also doesn't take up any space or volume unless you're carrying ridiculous amounts. Sorry, I've just kited a couple of zombies into the house there. Just kill them on the inside of the window. Oh, okay. Hello. See, even on flat ground, the zombies are quite slow. Might have time to pick this lock. Maybe not. But yeah, you can see I'm coughing now because I inhaled smoke from that smoker zombie. Let's just stand on the other side of this. And every time you cough, that knocks a point off your torso. So it is well worth avoiding those things. Right, this fence is not as slow as a window, and they also smash it actually. So that's not ideal. Where am I seeing that stuff? Is it over there? Really? Okay, the tramadol. Now what is the tramadol? I forget. Yeah, it's basically like codeine. It's not as good as oxycodone. Oh, I love oxycodone. Sorry. But yeah, so what we have now, we don't have a lot of food yet. This wax, you can make candles out of it. The NPC gave us that. You can also eat it. It's not very enjoyable, but it is a basic kind of food. It's not really going to stop you from starving for very long, but... So... yeah, these craters are potentially radioactive. But you can see there's a lot of houses here in this part of town, and very little shops. And there are not that many zombies here. So this is ideal. I think there's some inside the house here. Let's try and pick the lock to get in as quietly as I can. Yep, that's just not working. I guess my intelligence just isn't high enough. So I think there's one in here with me. Is there? Oh. A tin can of meat soup. I'll have that. When you see these question marks pop up, that's usually because there's somebody in there with you. It means you're hearing something, I believe. Okay, so we got some food in here. Nutrition is how much that's going to fill you up. So I mean, a box of sugar, I believe, is used in some crafting recipes, but it's not going to fill you up very much. And you see, salty foods will actually give you negative thirst, they'll make you thirsty, as you would expect. So something has been smashing up these cupboards here. So yeah, we've got plenty of drinks at the moment. Actually, I might as well take that cider as well, right? Oh, hello. Run away! And yeah, that really is good advice, actually. If you can't fight something, just run away. Really, just run away. Somebody behind here? Oh, it's a zombie cop. Guess this is his house. We can slow him down using this table, which has 200 movement cost. Ow. Yeah, he got a hit on me there. And so, what do we see in here? Another can of Coke, another sewing kit, some more thread. Yeah, books are fairly useful to collect on the first day if you have the space for them. But a lighter, they're very useful. You don't need to collect many lighters, they have 100 uses, and yeah, they'll last you a good month or so, I'd say. So, if we look at what we have now, we have lots of drinks, not a great deal of food, but like I said, you can find food in the wilderness. You have a decent amount of storage space, I would say, for a beginner character with no encumberment. Well, besides the encumberment on my mouth from that dust mask, which I should take off. With no encumberment, I'd say that is a decent amount of storage space to go and collect some more stuff. And yeah, I have painkillers. I don't have any bandages or first aid kits, so I would continue looking. Bathrooms are where you're going to find those, and pharmacies as well. Where is the bathroom? Oh, this is it here. And yeah, disinfectant is extremely valuable as well. Take those, because if you get a bite wound, you can cauterize it with your pocket knife, which you always start with. You just activate that. Whoops. And you have the option to cauterize a wound, but that's going to cause you a great deal of pain. Speaking of which, I am in quite a lot of pain already. And so, to clean out a wound that is infected, and you'll be able to tell when that's the case because it will say this bite wound hurts really bad in the message log. Yeah, it is invaluable. So you should definitely have some disinfectant on you at all times, or at least within reach in your shelter, wherever it is that you've set up. Oh, see if I can get to this bush before this dog gets me. Ouch. And so yeah, just using the terrain, dodging and weaving, slowing the enemies down, funneling them onto a choke point. You can hit them before they even hit you, most of the time. Some enemies are just ridiculously fast. If you're ever unfortunate enough to find a Jabberwock, you'll probably die. And yeah, we can use those bandages to patch up our torso, which is so damaged just simply from the smoke. I believe smoke is nerfed in later versions, so that might be irrelevant commentary for the future, but yeah, it is quite ridiculous. And you can also use these cars here, these beat up cars, to slow them down. If you just examine anything, see what the movement cost is. You can dig pits, spiked pits as well. Come on. You see how slow it was moving across that car frame then. I had to wait so many turns for it to get caffeine pills. Some beans and potato chips. Oh, they're all the way over there, are they? So yeah, we'll take those caffeine pills. And yeah, that is the main advice for this video. Use the terrain, run away, only take what you need, and don't load yourself down. If you follow those simple rules, you'll give yourself a good chance of survival on the first day. I'm not guaranteeing it, because there are no guarantees in this game. And so, yep, I hope that was useful. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next part.